and I'm really glad to serve as ISM 2021 General Co-Chair. And on behalf of the entire ISM Organization Committee, it is our pleasure to welcome all of you to this 2021 edition of the International Conference on Industry 4.0 and Smart Manufacturing. Well, as you know, we were supposed to be in Linz, actually in Hagenberg, for an hybrid conference, but unfortunately we have been obliged to go fully online because of the rise of COVID-19 cases in Upper Austria, where all the events have been banned until December the 6th. Obviously, our priority is the safety of all the ISM attendees. Therefore, while we are sad not to meet each other in person, we believe that this decision taken by the Austrian government is correct. 2020 and even 2021 will be remembered for a long time ahead. Indeed, we are all facing difficult times due to the COVID-19 pandemic that is strongly affecting our way of life. But I feel that thanks to the incredible research works done by a number of our colleagues worldwide, we are seeing the positive effects of vaccination, and I feel that this is the right way to be out of this pandemic soon. As mentioned, we were expecting to be in Austria, and we were looking forward to meet all of you in person. And obviously I take this opportunity also to thank our Austrian friends from the Hagenberg campus and software park of Upper Austria University of Applied Science for their invaluable support and contribution to the organization of this year's conference. You can easily imagine that everything was already set up, conference room, luncheons, gala dinner, transportation, but everything was unluckily cancelled last minute. So let's take vice versa advantage as much as possible from the online participation to the ISM 2021 edition that offers very high quality technical contents and articles. As you can see from the program, we do have 4 keynote speakers given both by companies and university, focusing on different aspects of Industry 4.0, such as, for instance, IoT system, digitalization as enabler for circular economy, digital twin, and so on. We do have also a number of scientific and parallel sessions on different topics, such as extended reality for Industry 4.0, data management, artificial intelligence, digital twin, digitalization opportunities for smart factories, just to name a few. Furthermore, there are a number of special sessions, also including research project presentation on different topics such as human-robot collaboration, 5G manufacturing, Industry 5.0, and many others. Indeed, these are opportunities to provide space for dissemination activities, as well as opportunities to set up new research projects and collaboration. Indeed, as explained later on during this presentation by our program co-chair that will give a full view of the conference program, there is also a virtual interaction room where participants can share ideas and create synergies. And you have been surely informed about the B2B meetings that we run concurrently to the conference. Indeed, from the very first edition of the ISM conference, we have always worked to provide not only the classic, let me say, scientific conference environment, but also opportunities to establish new collaboration and set up new research ideas. Therefore, let me thank the ISM International Program Committee members and all the reviewers for the huge work they have done along the last months, as well as the local organization committee at Upper Austria University of Applied Science. But above all, our special thanks goes to all the authors, participants, scientific and industrial sponsors that are contributing to the success of the ISM conference. It is also important to let our community grow. Therefore, please consider to take an active role in the organization of the next year edition of ISM to set up new special sessions and tracks, as well as to be part of the International Program Committee. We also welcome new people in the organization of the conference. This year, the article of the ISM will be published as part of the Procedure Computer Science that, as you know, are well recognized by the international scientific community. As for the previous year, we do have also awards and best papers that will be be announced tomorrow in the late afternoon. So I hope you will have a very interesting and fruitful online conference, and welcome to the ISM 2021. Now, I would like to leave the floor to Professor Agostino Bruzzone. Professor, next slide, please. Professor Agostino Bruzzone is full professor at University of Genoa in Italy. He is president of the simulation team and association of both industry and university working in the area of simulation and industry 4.0, as well as president of Liofant Simulation. And let me say, he is also our mentor chair, because whatever we know from the setting up and organization of scientific conference, this knowledge is due to Professor Agostino Bruzzone, that we thank for this welcome message that he's going to give. Agostino, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I apologize. Some time to restore connection. I feel okay. I like a lot what you mentioned in terms of being a mentor. I feel that in university, in science, we need mentors. I am very grateful to my ones that introduced me in the concepts that are the foundation of science. I feel that we are learning a lot looking around now, that in the science there are many different points of view. There are even tension. No, I don't know about what happened in Austria, but in Italy there are always discussion from people, not really scientists, people on the TV that are a little bit weird and claim to be scientists. From both sides, I mean, for all the sides. But when you learn to be a scientist from a mentor, you realize that the important aspect is to adopt what was even well known to Galileo centuries ago, that we needed to carry out experiments. And even as engineers, I'm an engineer by myself, we feel that's fundamental to match theory, methodology, experimentation, validation. And this is completely disruptive on our world, because the case mentioned by Francesco about the big step forward in research about health and care in this period, a lot of new technology that was pending. I don't mention about vaccine, but I mention you that we have 20 years ago possibility to carry out lecture remotely, but it never happened if it was not by COVID. It was just an exception. Now, obviously, remote learning introduce a lot of challenges. Quality may be decreased, but we are doing meeting for project since 10 years in this field. And obviously by doing, we learn. We learn how to improve, we learn new models. And this is even more true if we talk about Industry 4.0. I don't know if I have a couple of minutes, maybe I just can show you a couple of slides, but just to mention some of the aspects, not really critical. And I will just take to share my screen, hopefully. Just let me know if you see it. Do you see it?
Sure, it is coming.
Okay. From this point of view, as mentor, I'm very grateful to the organizer of ISM, all obviously the University of Paris, all the people that invest time, money to create this event, and even was so bold and brave to face the challenge of this last minute change. For sure, I would like to thank especially Professor Longo from MSC-LES, as well as our great friend Michael Affenzeller in Austria. And I would like to thank all of you to be there. I would like to mention just a couple of issues. One issue is for sure WAMS. WAMS is an event that is devoted to, is a workshop for applied modeling simulation. And usually when we deal with issue about new manufacturing model, new supply chain model, new Industry 4.0 paradigm, and this evolution, because maybe we are just already over, and someone say we are already over of 4.0, maybe we are moving to 5.0 with a revolution to work remotely and supervise. In factory, in industry, there was the problem of, for instance, place like Indonesia, Malaysia are still closed. If you have to install a plant over there, you need to develop new technology to get support from local supervising remotely. There's something that we can do, but We need even tools, solution, etc., to do much better. And WOMS was going all around the world, from Buenos Aires to St. Petersburg in Russia, all around Europe, and we will be very glad to keep it going, this workshop thematic. Maybe we'll have some opportunity to discuss on it. Next year, we plan to have it in this period. So I hope we'll still have very good synergy with ISM that is fast growing. And ISM is great, I feel, because it points out the focus on an application field that could be very, very leading a transformation in our industry. But I would like even to mention that simulation team is very proud to be one of the promoter of this event. We organize even other conference around. We support that just as scientific advisor. Simulation team is a network that involves dozens of organizations, usually combining let's say university or institution with spin-off. And spin-off, I feel, work a lot in the field of Industry 4.0 and the new manufacturing paradigms, because there is a huge need of tool and support and innovation that often this high-tech company can bring inside. And it's not just about software, I feel. It's not just about software, hardware, application, cloud service. It's a lot about mindset. To change, we need a new mindset. See, as a simulation team, we focus a lot on modeling. That is fundamental, because you need to create the model, you need to create the digital twin, you needed to create this virtual entity, this virtual support, like it was mentioned by Francesco, about extended reality, that strongly rely on this technology. So we're very proud to support as well. Last aspect that I want to mention just in 1 minute is that recently, just 3 years ago, we started a new program in strategic engineering. Strategic engineering was introduced by MIT 6 years ago. To give you an idea of how disruptive it resulted, we have around 12 multinational companies supporting us, and much more startup, including some NATO Center of Excellence and other international organizations. To give you an idea about that, when we started, it started in Genoa. We started in my university. I told you that MIT was a couple of years before us. We started by 20 students and 80 applications. Then we moved up to have 40 students and 180 applications. And this year we had 120 students and over 400 applications. Why is growing so much? Because there is a huge need to use modeling simulation, that is one of the pillars, with computational intelligence, as well with data analytics, but not by themselves. In close loop with the real system, IIoT, industrial Internet of Things, are key element, but all the digitalization of company to support decision. And this deal with new technology that we talk about here, but even about a new mindset. We need a new kind of scientists, engineers that could sit side by side with decision maker to go forward. I mentioned this initiative for a special reason. We started this year, very in rush, between Genoa, École des Mines d'Arles, Obuda University, Università della Rioja, so in Spain, in Hungary, in France, and in Italy, the first international PhD program in strategic engineering. Quite successful. Just in Italy, we activated 7 grants. Most of them are sponsored by industries. And we are very open to continue this direction, and we will be grateful to cooperate with ISM and with all these attendees in order to identify synergy opportunity. To give you an idea, this consortium is already grown to an additional center in Bulgaria. We have other candidates that we are going to finalize, because the agreement obviously takes some time, in Poland, in Czech, as well in the United States and in Switzerland. So this, I hope we can do something obviously with Austria, and that is very active. And so this gives you an idea about what I'm looking for, because we need to renovate our industry, but we need even to rethink strategically the way to produce and to manufacture things, to be leading, because I told from Europe, and obviously we care especially about Europe, even if we like to get a global growth. To grow, Europe should rethink things and to create new way, new synergy all around, maintaining some leading in terms of research, innovation, and way to create good win-to-win collaboration, not just to move out production, not just to be victim of what was the concept of globalization, but really leading the change. And we have a great opportunity now, learning even by the experience of COVID-19, how to change and do things in a different way. So thank you very much, and thanks again for this opportunity to speak to you.
Thanks really a lot, Agostino, for this overview on the activities done by Simulation Team, as well as on the other conference and on the strategic engineering program, because I feel that this is actually the spirit of ISM. Share this type of information to create new opportunities to know each other and to create new collaboration each other. So really thanks a lot. Now I would like to, we move. And I would like to leave the floor to Berthold Kerschbaumer. Berthold is a very good friend. He is the Dean of Faculty for Informatics, Communication and Media of University of Applied Science, Upper Austria. Berthold, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Francesco. Good morning also from my side. I would like to express a warm welcome to all of you. Yet again, a virtual one from Hagenberg, the heart of the Mühlviertel. Mühlviertel is the more rural part from Upper Austria, but 3 universities are situated and located in Upper Austria. One good point of the COVID pandemic is that I got a second opportunity for a greeting message on behalf of the Faculty of Informatics, Communications and Media Hagenberg, as well as of our whole university, the FH Upper Austria. It can already be said in advance that this conference again has been a great success in terms of the quality of both participants and their scientific contributions. More than 200 contributions with scientists from 45 different nations were accepted. The scientific level of the papers is high. As Francesco already said, all contributions are published in Elsevier Procedure Computer Science. This allows for a good distribution and perception of the high quality contents. In addition, agreements have been made with 2 renowned journals inviting selected contributions to submit extended versions. I am nevertheless of the opinion that this conference is one of the most outstanding scientific conferences in the field of digitalization ever held in Upper Austria. At the same time, it is also a cornerstone of certain mission, as this conference brings science and industry closer together. Given that there are participants from industrial companies, such as Miba, Föst, or the Italian company Caltech, as well as already very well-booked B2B meetings. We are especially proud of the cross-organizational and nationwide network activities of the Austrian research community, which has resulted in more than 30 high-quality contributions. Among others, this was a convincing argument to hold the ISM conference 2022 once more again in Hagenberg. Hence, if we succeed in defeating the COVID-19 pandemic, the Faculty of Informatics, Communications and Media in Hagenberg is delighted to be the host of this outstanding event. We therefore look forward to being once more the heart of the present research community and meeting all of you face to face at the premises of our university in Hagenberg next year. I would like to express my gratitude to the scientific board and organizational committee, Michael Affenzeller, Francesco Longo and Antonio Padovano, and to all others, especially the mentor Agostino Bruzzone, that would certainly make this conference a success. On this note, I wish you a very interesting and fruitful conference. Thank you, Francesco.
Thank you, Berthold, for this very interesting message. And now we can move, and I would like to leave the floor to Bruno Buchberger. Bruno is the founder of the software park in Hagenberg, where we were supposed to be. Bruno is also one of the most famous Austrian mathematicians, and he has obtained many scientific awards and honorary PhD. He has also been awarded this year as Austrian of the Year in the science category. So we are really, really very happy, you know, to see you here with us and to receive your welcome message. Bruno, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say a few words at the beginning of your conference. So maybe you are shocked seeing me now in person after having seen my photo from many years ago, but I'm the same person. So welcome to all of you to this exciting conference. And first of all, I would like to thank all the people who put a lot of dedication, time and effort to preparing this conference. In particular to our friends from abroad, from Italy, Agostino Bruzzone, Francesco Longo, Antonio Radovano, and from China, Weiming Shen, and last but not least to our local hero, Michael Affenzeller. I congratulate you that you managed to compose such an excellent program with 200 talks and papers on one of the most topical, important areas of the current computer age, namely the automation of industrial production. When I founded the Software Park Hagenberg in 1989, starting from my RISC Institute, RISC stands for Research Institute for Symbolic Computation, I started with 15 PhD and postdoc students. In the meantime, there are now approximately 3,000 people working and studying in the Software Park. And in the Software Park and at RISC, international faculties and students, international activities, and in particular also international conferences always played a very important role. And so it is a great pleasure for me to see that even in this very difficult time, an international conference is hosted, and so hosted at least virtually in our Software Park. And I'm really very grateful to all the many people who are making this event possible. So to the conference officers who I already mentioned, but also to all the keynote speakers, the members of the program committee, the referees, and the many people who are helping with the organization. As Kurt Gödel, the Austrian logician, already had predicted and even mathematically proved in 1931, at the age of 23, automation has no upper limit in sophistication. Thus, we are doing research and development in a very beautiful field, because we can and should put all our creativity and energy to finding better and better, smarter and smarter solutions to automation. And at the same time, we know there's always space for more and more and more creativity and sophistication. There's no upper limit. So this conference is taking place just at the time when Mark Zuckerberg is announcing his metaverse vision. Yes, there will always be certain landmarks on the timeline of automation, but technological progress is only possible by the ingenious, scientific, innovative work of the many, many individuals like you who work on the numerous challenging problems and sub-problems whose solution is necessary to make big visions come true. And therefore, I thank in particular also all the contributors to this conference for their scientific ideas, their effort to work on these ideas, to work them out and to present them for an open, friendly and critical discussion at this conference. So this year the conference has to take place virtually, but I do hope we will have the chance to have the next ISM in Hagenberg as a live conference. And we can proudly announce that at that time, then in the future, we will have our own hotel right here on the Hagenberg campus. This hotel is now under construction. And also let me finish with a little anecdote and maybe joke. Maybe 10 years ago, I was invited to a conference on Industry 4.0 here in Upper Austria, but I was not invited as a speaker because this is not my area, my special area of research, but I was invited to play with my Bookie Mountain Jazz Trio at the conference dinner. And for this event, I composed a little song on Industry 4.0, and I wanted to make a little joke by just asking people what is 4.0, because if there's 4.0, there should be 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. What is 1.0, 2.0, and what is 4.0? And then I said, better don't work on 4.0, work on 5.0. Then you will always be ahead. And today I saw on the program that you have an extra section on 5.0. So that's really great. I congratulate you. And I hope that when the next edition of ISM will take place in Hagenberg, that hopefully we have a live dinner, and hopefully you will invite me with Bookie Mountain Jazz Trio for background music. So all good wishes for your conference, and thank you very much for your attention.
Bruno, thanks a lot for your welcome message, and obviously we look forward to hear your music and your jazz trio as soon as possible. So really thanks. Now let's move on. It is the time to introduce a very good friend, Professor Michael Affenzeller. We are used to attend conference and to organize conference together along the last 15 years. Professor Michael Affenzeller is full professor at Upper Austria University of Applied Science. He is general co-chair of the ISM conference, as well as scientific head of the software park that Bruno has just presented, and head of the Heuristic Lab group in Software Park. Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Francesco, for this really kind introduction. A special welcome also from the local side, even if we had to go virtually in a quite spontaneous way at the end of last week. My special greetings go to those of you who intended to come to Upper Austria this week, but unfortunately the COVID numbers are really high at the moment, and we don't know if we are over the top already. So I think the decision of the local government was on the safe side and therefore correct. Nevertheless, we decided to make the best out of it, to organize a virtual conference with open access, which we have also especially advertised for members of the scientific community as well as for the industrial community. And the software park is certainly a especially suited place in order to contribute to the latest steps in the industrial revolution, no matter if we call it Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing, Industry 5.0. Many companies which are located here, all dedicated to software, together with science and education. This still very active triangle of cooperation, which Bruno Buchberger used as a setup for the software park, can contribute in a great way to industrial topics. Also, one of the core topics which we have at the software park, which is prescriptive analytics, perfectly fits application-wide into that field, because the basic idea is to couple aspects of data science and machine learning, or you could say also industrial AI, with optimization and simulation to tackle problems from the industry, from logistics, from interlogistics, and many of the topics which we have seen in the tracks are in this area of topics. Organizing a hybrid event is especially challenging and time-consuming. Therefore, let me take a minute or two to especially thank some people without the help of whose it wouldn't have been possible to set up this hybrid event. First of all, it's our Italian friends. I saw what a lot of work and effort they have been taking in order to set up this event. It's a tremendous effort with the editors of the journals, also with the contribution, with the setting up their process of evaluation of papers and so on and so far. And I'm really grateful that we have the support together in organizing this event, but also the local players have made a really good job. I think the software park ecosystem and also the university ecosystem in Upper Austria have made many special sessions, have handed in good contributions, and also, as already mentioned, until last Friday we were prepared to hold a part of the conference in the hybrid way, also here in Hagenberg, and everything has been set up, conference dinner, bus transfer, and so on and so far, which was a lot of work of our event management team, which unfortunately, at least this year, nobody will really see. They had additional effort to cancel all this already booked things, which was maybe a little bit easier by telling that next year we will come back to this. So also for organizing the BTP meetings, we are grateful to have the support of Upper Austrian BISAP, the software park, and the IT cluster, who did a great job again as last year in setting up the B2B meetings in cooperation with the Italian colleagues. And also we coupled our focus to involve the media to promote the conference, especially to promote the opportunity to select sessions, to select topics of special interest or the keynotes, and use the virtual form to participate on them. So I think from the setup we are well prepared. We have a lot of audience already during the welcome message, and I wish you a great conference with interesting and inspiring keynotes, talks, and discussions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Michael, for your message. And now I would like to give the floor to Professor Weiming Shen. He's full professor at Huazhong University of Science and Technology in China. He is one of the most well-known international researchers in the area of Industry 4.0 and smart manufacturing, and is our ISM 2021 program co-chair. Weiming, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Hello? Yeah, thank you, Francesco. Thank you for giving me the opportunity just to say a few words. And good day, good morning, good evening to everyone attending the conference from around the world. And in fact, the Industry 4.0 is, to me, to many people, is a vision, and it's an initiative proposed and developed in Europe, and now has been widely accepted and actioned on by governments, academia, and industry around the world. And this conference, in fact, provides a great opportunity for all of us to exchange ideas and present results and the discuss future directions. So it's a very good one. And the conference program committee led by Antonio did a great job and has developed a great program with 4 keynotes and about 200 paper presentations. So I would say a few words on that one particularly. This is only the second edition, and I was invited to give a talk last year, a keynote talk last year, and then I was invited to co-chair the program committee this year. I'm so grateful to be part of it, because during the past 25 years, I think I have been involved in maybe more than 100 conferences, international conferences related to intelligent manufacturing and smart manufacturing, and even co-chaired maybe LUFA maybe 50, 60 international conference. And this one to me is really a great one, even though it's not large with 1,000 people, but with 200 people. Only second edition, we have already had 200 submissions on a very hot topic, Industry 4.0, and with some very interesting paper, keynotes and presentations we will hear during the next 3 days. And I worked, in fact, I did my PhD in France, Europe for 5 years and spent 25 years in North America, in Canada, and then come back to China only a couple of years ago. And then I found this is very good conference, and I hope I can bring the conference here in China maybe in 2-3 years, if you agree. And with that, and I wish the conference a great success, and wish all of you safe and healthy during that difficult time. And thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Weiming, for your message, from your support to the organization of this year conference, and for all the suggestions that you have provided along the year that make this conference for sure a success. Now I would like to move on. So last but not least, I would like to invite Antonio Padovano. Antonio is the ISM program co-chair. He is research assistant professor at University of Calabria, and he was doing a great job in setting up, together with the organization committee, the program of the ISM conference. And indeed, Antonio is going to provide us with a detailed overview of what we expect to see in the next 3 days. Antonio, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Longo, for this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the International Program Committee that I'm honored to co-chair together with Professor Weiming Shen, I warmly welcome you to the International Conference on Industry 4.0 Smart Manufacturing. So following the outstanding welcome messages that preceded my talk, let me give you some more detailed information about the conference days and numbers about this year's edition of the conference. So even in this difficult global scenario that is challenging all of us, the ISM conference is being established as a relevant conference at international level, with a sharp increase of the received submissions. This year we got 217 submissions, out of which 194 high-quality contributions from authors from more than 48 countries, and more than 150 universities, companies, and institutions have been accepted after a very professional and well-funded review process. Beside my thanks to the paper's authors who chose the ISM for submitting their research, I would like to thank all the members of the scientific committee, about 114 scientists from all over the world, plus all the other reviewers for their invaluable work. And in the wake of last year's edition, whose proceedings have been published with Elsevier, as Professor Longo said at the beginning of the ceremony, the ISM 2021 proceedings will be published by Elsevier as a dedicated issue of the Procedia Computer Science, which is one of the most popular Elsevier publications, focusing entirely on publishing high-quality conference proceedings. And we are very glad to have established this collaboration because it enables fast dissemination. So conference authors can publish their papers in a dedicated online issue on Science Direct. Procedia Computer Science is also open access, so papers are made freely available worldwide and indexed in Scopus, thus providing maximum exposure for your work. Besides the conference proceedings, ISM 2021 offers some post-conference publication opportunities to the authors. In particular, presented papers will be screened one more time right after the conference, with the sole purpose of recommending the authors to consider significantly extended versions in one of the journals connected to the conference. This slide reports some information of the special issues. Others are also being setting up, and the selection process has already started for some of them in collaboration with the guest editors and the editors-in-chief of the journals, and the authors will receive the invitations by email in the next days if their paper will be selected. Now, this is a very general overview of the conference program. Right after this opening ceremony at 11:15 Central European Time, we will have the keynote speeches by prominent academics and industry experts in the field of Industry 4.0. We will have parallel sessions on specific topics scheduled in different virtual rooms over the 3 conference days. And we remind you that it's just needed to click on the link in the program to access the virtual rooms. Here's a summary of the keynote talks that will be held during the conference. Professor Corcado and Sophie Packner will be the speakers that will have their talk after this opening ceremony, while tomorrow afternoon we will have the talks by Professor Kusiak and Professor Ozel. I would like to invite you to participate tomorrow afternoon to the Best Paper Awards ceremony that will be held right after the 2 keynote talks. Also this year, the ISM comes with 3 different awards. The Best Paper Award assigned to the best paper based on originality, scientific quality, and impact on the manufacturing domain. The Industrial Impact Award assigned to the paper presented at ISM that has the greatest impact on industrial practice, and the ISIP Best Service Innovation Paper Award that will be assigned by the International Society of Service Innovation Professionals to the best paper dealing with promoting service innovation for our Society 5.0, let me say. And last year, we've also established the Best Reviewer Award to acknowledge the outstanding contribution of the reviewers, whose insightful and supportive feedback has helped the authors to substantially improve their papers. The winners will be acknowledged on the ISM website. The Best Service Innovation Paper Award winners will be also acknowledged on the ISIP website. And we invite you to join us for this celebration. We will toast all together, and so just remember to bring something to drink and celebrate after the keynote speeches. Beside the regular sessions, I would like you to invite to join the special sessions that have been organized. You can see here the details of 5 very interesting special sessions. One today regarding human-robot collaboration in assembly systems, about a Felice European project. Tomorrow we will have 2 special sessions, one about going from the lab to the field, challenges of the digital transformation and research inspirations from Austrian manufacturing companies' use cases, and a very interesting panel on 5G, where we will have 4 very prominent academics we will have a interesting panel discussion on this topic. And the last day we will have a special session on the future of Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0, and also a roundtable with the dissemination of different R&D projects. So just a recap on how to join the sessions. You can click directly on the links in the full program or in the program at a glance, either the PDF or the web version. And we remind you that there are also three different interaction rooms. So we know that networking is an essential aspect of conferences. Unfortunately, we are still in time of pandemics and we cannot meet in person. But the purpose of this is to create a sort of a forum, a sort of place where people can meet. So just if you got interested in someone's speech or research interests during the sessions, feel free to tell him or her to meet in one of these interaction rooms and continue the discussion face to face. And finally, in the wake of the success of past editions, the ISM 2021 Organizing Committee, in collaboration with BISAP Upper Austria, has organized a B2B, B2S, business to business, business to science brokerage event, a virtual matchmaking event, bringing together, bringing closer to each other the research science side and the entrepreneurial business side of Industry 4.0. There are currently more than 70 participants from 25 countries, more than 25 scheduled face-to-face meetings where basically enterprises, startups, agencies, together with scholars, research institutions, laboratories, and universities from the broad field of Industry 4.0 can get in contact with each other. So we know how important it is today to establish new partnerships, to showcase our own projects, to promote ourselves as potential international project partners and discuss funding opportunities. So participation is free of charge and there is time until 1 p.m. to register and join. I would like to invite you all to join the B2B meetings. So thank you very much for attending this year conference edition, and I do hope you will enjoy the conference and see you in person next year.
Thank you, Antonio, for providing all the information about the next 3 days. We take again the opportunity to thank the organization staff as well as the IPC member, but above all the scientific partners that you can see on the slide, the industrial partners, Voestalpine, MIBA, Caltech, UNO, HTS, Econet, as well as all the other associations that has provided their support to the organization of the conference. Obviously, get on board now. I mean, we are always open to host new people that can take an active role in the organization of the conference. So again, feel free to contact us, to contact myself or Antonio or the other members of the organization committee. We can work together for the next year edition. Next slide. Now, as I was mentioned by Michael, as well as by Bruno and Berthold, next year edition will be in Austria again, because we have to keep trying against COVID-19. As Hannibal, it was the famous Carthaginian general, was saying more than 2,000 years ago. It was this very famous sentence in Latin that was aut inveniam viam aut facam, that we will either find a way or make a new one to be in Austria in the end. So we have to keep trying, and we will try again next year to be all together in person, face to face in Austria. So again, welcome to the ISM 2021 edition. We really hope that you will have a very fruitful and interesting conference. Now we do have a break, a virtual coffee break, and we will see each other at 11:15 with the keynote speakers. So thank you once again for joining the opening ceremony.
Thank you.
So please remember to use the link provided in the full program to join the keynote speaker session. Okay, it will be not this link, it will be a different link. So just go on the program, click on the link, and you will be able to access the keynote speaker session. Again, thank you and see you later.
Thank you. Goodbye.